Welcome to From the Eyes of Wisdom, where we pair an experienced elder from CRISTA Senior Living with a passionate King's High School student ready to launch into the world. Here's Sherri Lynn.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of From the Eyes of Wisdom. I am Sherri Lynn, and I am so happy to have Marvin here with me, and Kason is here with me. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
All right. I asked them how nervous they were on a scale of 1 to 10. Kason gave me a
7.
And then I thought, Marvin, you look so cool, calm and collected. So I thought we were going to be below a 5, but you gave me a 6.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I gave a little pep talk. Did that lower anybody's number? No. Did it take it up some? When I got done? Now you're soaring at a 9? Okay. All right. Well, let's see where we go. All right. So first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself. Marvin, may I ask how old you are?
I'm 86.
You look 86. You look fantastic.
Well, thank you.
You do. You look fantastic. So tell me about your career. What did you do for a living? What do you do for a living? This is my understanding. You still work. You still...
Yes.
Okay.
I'm an electrical engineer, and my main career was at Boeing as electrical systems.
Okay.
Worked on the beginning of the 747 project and all the way through that one and several others along the way.
So we're flying because of Marvin.
And,
well, in part, yeah. I know, yeah.
But also, I had a good friend from the church I grew up in that became an architect, and he designed churches.
Okay.
And so when we got together and realized what we were doing, he said, I'll have some work for you when you get your PE license. So I got my PE license, and so
what's a PE license?
Professional engineering.
Okay.
And so I've done about, close to 300 electrical designs for churches or additions in the Northwest over the years.
Wow.
And after retiring from Boeing, that still led into another place. I work now for a place called Safe Consulting.
Mm-hmm.
They've hired me, or they do hire me as their professional engineer on a project basis. And so I review all the designs and put my little stamp on there. Okay, or tell them what needs to change.
So 86 years old, I think a lot of people think, hey, I'm going to get a certain age, I'll retire, I'll go lay on a hammock and, drink some juice out of a coconut or something and just ride easy. You're still working, so you must love what you do.
I do. I guess the kind of person I am is I like to feel like I'm accomplishing something and so forth, and it makes me want to continue.
Did you have a passion for engineering, for math, was it something that you saw yourself doing? Like, were you at Kason's age and said, I'm going to be an engineer? Did you have that laser focus, or is it just kind of something you kind of stumbled into?
Actually, I was inspired when I was in the 9th grade by my 9th grade algebra teacher, and I decided I wanted to be an engineer then.
Wow, okay.
Didn't have enough money to go to college, so I went in the service first, but when I came out, went on to get my degree and so forth.
Okay. Kason, tell me about you. How old are you, hon?
17.
17. All right. What grade are you in? Junior, senior? Junior. Mm-hmm. Okay. And tell me about what you do in school. Like, what do you love? What do you want to study? What do you want to be?
Well, I haven't really figured out what I want to study after I leave high school. But, I mean, I guess if I'm talking about me just personally, I'm a swimmer. I'm a singer.
Okay.
I'm on the mock trial team.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
Which one of those do you love the most?
It's probably split between... Oh, well, honestly, I can't really... Probably split between all three, really.
If I said, Kason, let me tell you something. I'm snatching all of these but one tomorrow. Which one would you be like, please don't take this?
Oh, probably swimming.
Okay.
Doing it for the longest.
Okay. All right. And so I remember during your pre-interview, you talking about having a 4.0. Is that right?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Okay, that's impressive.
For now. But...
For now.
The end of the year is coming on fast.
Okay, all right. So for now, you have 4.0. So you're a good student.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this. What makes us, in your mind, a successful man? If you were like, hey, there's a successful man, what would that be?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
Wow. I mean, I feel like there's kind of like the...
And please don't think that... I don't want you to feel like you have to give the answer that you think that I would like... Like, what if you look, he's successful. In your heart, you looked at a guy, you were like, man, he's successful. What would that be? Would it be family? Would it be kids? Would it be car? Would it be house? Would it be money? Would it be faith? What would it be that you would look and say that's a successful man?
Probably for me, it's probably a mix of like faith, but also like what the world values as success. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like money or fame or something like that.
Okay.
But, you know, I've had there's kind of like two answers, like you're giving your whole life to God and like trying to fulfilling life there. And then like on the other side, it's like money, fame, and you're...
What's your answer? What would you look at a guy and say he's successful?
That's the thing. I feel like probably I'd go for like the worldly side of it.
Okay.
As much as I'd want to say the other one.
No, you know, there's no wrong answer. So it'd be kind of like maybe if you had a certain kind of car or a certain kind of job or...
Yeah, like the kind of job that you really like and just going with it.
Okay. All right. Marvin, at 86, what would you say a successful man is?
I think being successful is, I guess, doing what the Lord would want us to do, and but also being able to support, you know, your family, have a good family.
Okay.
Everything.
Would you have considered, at 86, do you consider your life successful?
Partially.
Okay.
Not always.
All right.
Had some bumps in the road.
Okay. Do bumps in the road, or is that not successful? Because everyone would have bumps in the road. So success would it be the way you managed those bumps? You think?
That might contribute to success, but I've been unsuccessful in a couple of marriages.
Okay.
And I feel sorry for that, but hopefully I handled them okay.
Yeah.
After they failed.
If you had to look at those bumps, and if you had to look at those mistakes and some of those personal failures that you would qualify yourself, what would be some of the advice you would give Kason?
Don't be a workaholic. If you have a family, treat them as first in your life.
Huh.
Yeah. I was too much of a workaholic, I think.
Where do you think that came from?
Well, partially, I think mainly because of the fact that I worked for a company that periodically faced a lot of layoffs, and I thought that I had to really perform and be there to avoid those layoffs. And I did avoid the layoffs, but
at a price.
At a price.
It's almost not fair to ask it, and I hate when interviewers ask it. So of course I'm going to ask it. If you had to go back, would you change it?
I'd try.
Try.
I don't know if I'd be successful at changing it, but you know, you get wrapped up in what your goals are and what you're doing, and that's hard to change, maybe.
Kason, what do you think when you hear that, sir?
That kind of And it kind of hits deep because I think I find myself like stretched between a lot of activities. And honestly, I feel like I do neglect my family sometimes, or at least like hanging out with my brother or spending time with my parents or stuff like that. So, yeah.
Good. This is good. I want to pause here just to say how deeply rich this is, because a lot of times when we do interviews like this, and it's the title of this podcast is From the Eyes of Wisdom, the tendency is for a person who is older to want to say to a person who is younger, hey, I did these awesome things, and so therefore you should do these awesome things. Look at this awesome life. Therefore, this is the awesome path. And I really think that those things are fine, by the way. However, I think there's a lot to be learned from someone who, like myself, who's been in a lot of ditches and climbs up out of that ditch and says, hey, you might not want to go down that road. There's 50 ditches over there and you're not going to make it out. And I think that there's something, I just find that very, very valuable. And thank you for giving that. Because my hope for you, Kason, is that, well, I'll put it this way. How you define success, which I think a lot of people would have defined success the way you defined it. I would think that the way you defined it would come at the cost of what Marvin just said. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you could have that, but it's going to cost this. And then my next question to you would be, and I'm going to ask you this question and just answer it the best way you can. And just know I'm asking you to give it now and then hope in 10 years you find this podcast and hear yourself and hope that the answer is different in some way. What is valuable to you? Now, I'm not asking you what are your values, because when I ask what are your values, well, then we have a bunch of scriptures that will try to, here you go, and then this is that. What is valuable to you? We can only tell that by where we place our value, and typically where we place our value is where we place either our time or our money.
Yeah, I'd say I definitely placing a lot of my time in, like, obviously, like high school, like trying to keep my grades up, trying to get into a good college, whatever that may be. That really just seems to be the end goal right now, is just finishing high school and getting into college. But, okay. I mean, does that count as an answer?
Yeah, of course it does. Can I ask you, why is that so valuable to you?
I mean, I feel like I've just been, maybe like instilled with the expectation that I have to do as well as my parents did and get into a really good college, and I have to be successful from there. And, okay. I don't know, do all that stuff.
Got it. Okay. That's a very good answer. Marvin, I'm going to ask you what is valuable to you, but I'm going to ask you also, has it changed, or how has it changed through the course of your life?
One thing I think is a value is having faith, and it has been up and down in my life.
Your faith has.
Pardon?
Your faith has been up and down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now it's up.
Okay.
Partially because I'm here.
Right.
It's a wonderful place to be, to help you grow in faith. My family and my children are valuable to me.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for them, and they mean the world to me. Friendship and that is value to me now, and I have some wonderful friends where we're living down there on campus.
Yeah.
Including a wonderful lady friend.
Okay, Marv. All right, I see.
At this age.
Okay. Yeah. Look at that, Kason, 86, got a little lady friend. Hey, man. All right.
I don't know, just mainly caring for other people. Life is valuable, and we see so much suffering and warring in our world, but just it's valuable. People, we need to understand that people are valuable. And somehow, if we can have a hand in helping someone, I think that's more valuable than what we attain. Yeah.
May I ask you, do you fear death?
No, I don't think I do. I don't want to die yet. I'm having too good a time, but
Brother, I love that at 86. I love that. I love that. I'm having too good a time. That's fantastic.
But no, I don't think I really fear it. In fact, I have cancer, and it could be close.
Huh.
And I'm coming up on a decision as to whether or not I take chemo or not, and I'm thinking I will, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, but you can stop me at any point if you're like, I don't want to talk about it anymore, and I will stop. Do you have any anxiety about that, or do you feel peace about that? You seem at peace, and if you hadn't told me that you had, if you hadn't said that you had cancer, I would not have known that. Meaning, I don't see any anxiety in you. I don't. So
there's a little anxiety, I have to admit.
Yeah, of course.
But I've had it for a long time. I had prostate cancer, and my prostate was removed 14 years ago or so. And now but at that time, it had gone far enough to be in my system, so I've been taking medication all these years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sort of living with it for a long time, and I'm ready.
What gives you the peace to say, I don't fear death, and I'll make a decision, and I'm okay?
Mainly, I guess, my faith in the Lord. That He's promised that He's got a place for us. And might be a lot better than it is here.
I'm guessing that it is. Kason, what do you, at 17, I would really be interested in what you think when you hear that. Well, before you even say that, in your private times, I'm just talking about just private Kason times, at rest. And when I say at rest, just you, in the car, wherever you are doing, it's just you and your thoughts. What would best describe that time? Peace or anxiety? Mind racing, at peace?
Probably mind racing.
Okay. So when you hear a person say that they have to make a decision, in essence, whether they are going to still be here on Earth or not, and that because would you have known that was... I don't even know if I'd have made this interview, quite frankly, y'all. I would have been like, I got other things to think about. I got problems of my own. Tell them figure it out. So just being here is amazing to me. But I would not have known. I did the peace of, literally when I think of the peace of God, that's what I see on you. It really is. That when I hear people talk about the peace of God, that's what I identify on you. And it's miraculous and it's wonderful. So I wonder what you think about when you see that or when you hear.
Yeah, I definitely agree that that's like the peace of God.
Yeah.
And I feel like it kind of makes me think about how like all of the stuff like in high school and going through all these activities, doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And I can kind of see that because it's really what matters is like your faith.
Yeah.
So these other things are like, they're great, but I mean, yeah, if like God were to take all these away, I just have to deal with that because at the end of the day, it's like my faith that matters. And even if I can't, do the things I love anymore, and even if God decides like it's my time, then yeah, I'm going to a place that's much better than here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it's all about, I guess.
Yeah. I usually at the end of these, I ask our senior wise person to write down a word of wisdom for our younger person that they can kind of carry through life with them. But I'm going to just usurp that real quickly. And I'm just going to write on here. I always want you to remember Marvin has peace. And I want you to always remember that. I don't care when you're in your dorm. I don't care wherever you are in life. I want you to remember the peace of God that was on this man. And that God is not a respecter of person. So Marvin has peace. And the life that he has told you that he has lived, right? Faith up, faith down, right? Mm-hmm. I made mistakes, workaholic, should have did this, wish I would have done that. But 86, can sit at the table and have peace, be at peace not being here anymore, if that's what God chooses, that God would always have that same peace for you. And that there's no age limit on that. God's not like, hey, get the 86 and then I'll give it to you, right?
Yes, I guess.
You can have it at any age. I think God is faithful enough that if you said, God, give me that same peace you gave Marvin, I think he would do that. I believe he would do that. So that's what I'm going to write on here. Marvin has peace. And this will always remind you of this time. And then I'm just going to put like this. And then Marvin, I'm just going to have you sign that right there, on that X right there. Okay. And then you give that to Kason. And Kason, you'll have that with you all the time. You carry that with you through life. That's Marvin's signature on there.
That's good.
Oh, I love that. Marvin, any extra words of wisdom, anything I didn't cover that you feel like Kason needs to know as he heads out into this big world to face all of these big things?
Well, catchphrase, keep the faith. But I also remember now that I saw you in the choir when you came and sang for us, and you guys were really good. Keep it up. It's really a nice thing to be able to sing praises to the Lord.
I love that. Guys, it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, right? We made it through, huh? You guys were wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us. I am Sherri Lynn from the Eyes of Wisdom. Thank you for joining us.